Now going to the lab 16 in this bleak Somewhen, not somewhere, Somewhen moment. There's also all kinds of new monsters around here. We're going to and some sort of walking octopus things. And this is also the first moment in the game when you actually have a full 3-person crew. And that big ugly thing is actually capable of just get rid. Yeah. It likes to eat you, and it even heals itself a bit. But just walk over it and kill it. Berserker, I wonder what this did. Oh yeah, not so handy. Berserk, well, it's not a status effect in this game, but it's a thing which may happen to you, so it ain't good. And as I now did some thinking work, as badly as that can be said to be, I just figured out that there is no point for me to actually go and edit these fights out, at least not yet, because there ain't gonna be so many long fights in this, at least not yet. And damn it, that thing steals from your stuff. Third loot sword on both. More. And now I actually noticed that that green thing is actually some sort of plant monster. Not the most imaginative thing. And of course, or at least not of course, but like in many other Final Fantasy games, or actually not Final Fantasy games, Squaresoft games, you can, with their shoulder buttons, you actually can run from the fightings, but it ain't so necessary in this game. Mostly because there isn't so much of these kind of encounters which would be considered to be very dangerous, unlike in some other Final Fantasy games where you might wind up facing something completely horrifyingly powerful. But that thing can just waltz about as much as it wants and get shot and killed. And I do when it's a matter of video game remaking and all that, which, like in case of movies, it's a bit of a double-edged thing. That it's a sign of, you could say, from lack of imagination to result into remaking. But if remake is good, it's usually something that it completely reshapes the story, reshapes the thing, narrative structure completely, as in being something that everything which was good in the original has now been amplified, and quite often also what was bad in it has been removed, or at least gotten to some kind of overhaul, so it ain't as bad as it used to be. Yeah, that plant monster I wanted out. It is unpleasant. But I still wonder why did the game designers decide to, when the design phase, wanted to make Marl armed with a crossbow? It doesn't, in a sense, feel a more ladylike weapon or something that the dedicated healer would use. But of course, knowing that the regular bow actually demands quite lots of physical strength to make maximum use of it, mostly because of, well, when you are drawing the bow with your physical strength, it ain't so easy. And can taste the spin slash or cyclone. And the later versions, like the one which has come to Steam, if I remember right, that was called spin slash or something like that. Just a little bit of refinement on the technologies. And you can still say that the avoiding of fights is not it's not that stupid idea in this game, seeing that and these things are immune to basic attacks. But luckily they kill over quite efficiently with that. Oh, yeah, look at that. Complete miss and followed by counter attack. And a basic attack as well. So yeah, these are annoying. But the slash attack takes them out quite nicely. And actually it's a wind elemental attack. Its name is actually wind slash in the original. But when they made this translation, they just gave it the name slash, which is quite misleading, I'd say. Yeah, and more pests come out, and all three with one swoop. And that's nice because the game takes account that some attacks are not necessarily that kind of attacks which would attack everywhere, but do attack an area around something, like around a character or around a target. Or however, which makes it very fun in that sense. That there's not just the basic attacks one target and attacks everybody, but there's also attacks an area thing, which in more tactical or game-playing games is usually that the way that there's just single targets and various sizes of effect. And well, Chrono Trigger is a bit on a more of a, you could say, on the vague side in that case. That's that way. Well, arrived to a new dome, which is just as unpleasant as it was as the previous one. Oh damn, I got a hiccup. But they seem to do something in here. There's an old man. But it's real strange that they can understand each other's language, because well, that's a narrative convention. But if somebody would go you would go to some era like let's say Second World War, or maybe even from the Vietnam War, you could probably have quite difficulty if you were a time traveler, even if you know all the makeup and all the, better say, fashion and all that from the basic of that era. You would still have to stick out because of all the language, way you use the language and social norms that might not be able to be learned from any knowledge source. So that would be quite interesting in that sense. Yeah. Oh, still hungry. That's bad. Yes, I have money. Yeah, I got all that. And it's really nice to know that the characters in here do know of each other's existence. They just know that there's too much different. Oh. Well, his name is Doan. Yeah. Well, they know that it's insanely risky, but they are not gonna stop us anyway. but this one was opened already. And we are above something. And these might be some sort of scaffolding or something above this kind of wreckage, but yeah, that's our warning about something nasty will attack you if you get too close. Yeah. And that big thing is a boss. Guardian and its bits. And it's actually quite simple boss in that you want, instead of attacking the Guardian, you want to attack its bits to make it, you could say, much more weaken its basic attack form. And as the bits actually do go down quite easily, it's not so difficult or dangerous. That was nice attack, or there's a not nice attack at all. Now I get to wail at the Guardian itself. And it can't do shit. Except it counts down. If I remember right, it didn't count down any big attack, it was counting about how quickly it's gonna bring out its bits. It's a real nice game that if you're gonna put some sort of the spike in difficulty, you better put it someplace where that you don't put it to the beginning. You put it. Actually, the spike of difficulty is quite much a sign of bad design, but revives the bit. Not just revive a bit, it revived bits. But I do follow the same basic plan of wailing at the bits until they go down. Yeah. That actually came in quite good timing, that Mars critical. Now let's try slash. Does it do anything more damage? Not so. So it's just basic physical attacks. I can't really remember. Does it can endure enough to take even a second round of this kind of beating? Or just one round? Well, it's not taking a second round, but does it have time to bring out the bits second time? No. Looks much more intimidating than it is, and this is also a tutorial fight about cores and bits. Experience, tech points, money, level ups, and getting forward. Ooh. And now when you look at it, if he passed away a long time ago, that there shouldn't be smell. It should have been already, all the rotten plant matter should have already dried up and go to become not smelling. That's a fake hint. But this kind of idea of seed storage is actually a very good and realistic idea, because there's a actual seed storage in Svalbard, Norway, which is, well, it's quite, damn it. I'm gonna catch you, Ratty. Gotcha. Actually, that mistakes part is not so much that you'll be sorry, it's just a... Well, now you know how to do it. Which is a real nice one. That was of course fourth wall breaking. Oops. Not like that. But like this. Oh, robot and rats. Oh yeah, rat is running about. Bugger. That's actually quite... Well, you can use that word for many kind of purposes as a verb, which is quite actually indecent verb. Word. Well, it's one of those multi-use words for all kinds of purposes. It's a quite indecent verb, but it also can be some sort of mild curse. Some sort of weird bug things. Quite handy stuff. Oh, and I'll award a couple of remaining bugs just because, hey. And there's one burlier looking robot thingy walking about. A couple of these shadow thingies as well. Yeah, all kinds of things going around. Oh, it's nice that the that robot pest thing also attacks those, well, ouch. Yeah. And a new technique to mar, which of course no. And as in this phase, the programmings usually weren't that sophisticated that those kind of provoking attacks were effective. But maybe there is some no info available in here. Why this place is just so bleak. Yeah, that's the last recording. Well, well, things look nice. Except no something's coming up. A hedgehog-like monster came from the earth, raining destruction from the heavens. And there were these big domed cities which couldn't do shit against such unexpected attack. after the end. Actually, no, Chrono did not say all the history. It was making sure history doesn't change. No, I wouldn't say stroke of luck. Well, we are still stuck in a fucking post-apocalyptic hellscape. But now we know something... what is to be done. And with very mood-raising music, which is, in a sense, quite discordant, dissonant to this general grimness of this narrative style and pacing of this game. But it is not so much matter. Just leaving this place as fast as I can. Oh, but I were forced to fight a couple of bugs. And this kind of scenes are really great when they do keep the great music going even when they have to fight. And it's not always used, that kind of, at least in this kind of fighting systems where there is a specific fighting and not fighting modes. In those games where the fighting is more integrated in the basic gameplay, the music usually doesn't change when you start the fighting. Which of course feels much better for the basic flow of the gameplay. I do find that the Chrono Trigger is a quite well balanced game in this sense. Yeah. Oh yeah. And it actually... Well, now at least there is a knowledge of what things is happening and getting up, doing something never done before. And that energon doesn't actually keep you nourished. It just makes it so that you don't need to sleep. That's actually real nice that when they put it that they're trying to get the agriculture coming up again, because I don't think those mutants or whatever things they are very edible. But let's just buy some stuff. And just get out of this place. Just because, hell, we solved some sort of problem and maybe created some hope to the future. Or maybe not. But it's time to end this episode right here before going to the most likely much more horrifying Lab 32. So, I'll see you next time. See ya.